Hey guys, we're back with more Rob Watches Wrestling, the segment where we take a look at a pro wrestling match from somewhere in the history books and just talk about it. So we're breaking in a new YouTube format here, and I want to do that with one of my favorite multi-man matches of all time from WWF In Your House Final Four. It's Bret Hart versus The Undertaker versus Vader versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, February 16th, 1997, from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, you can find this match on Peacock if you search for WWF Final Four or In Your House Final Four or whatever. But, you know, the WWE Vault YouTube channel actually just uploaded this match in its entirety on the 28th anniversary of the match, February 16th. So I encourage you to follow along there. The backstory for this match is kind of convoluted and complicated, but we'll try and simplify it here. So the Royal Rumble the previous month had a screwball finish involving Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the way they decided to fix that is to put the final four guys in the Rumble, Bret, Undertaker, Vader, and Austin, into a match and have the winner of that match challenge for the WWF title at WrestleMania 13 in March. But mere days before this match, then WWF champion Shawn Michaels gave his famous "I lost my smile" speech and gave up the title due to what was supposedly mental health issues and a career-threatening knee injury. Believe me, folks, that's a whole nother story. So after Shawn was written off television, they just decided, alright, let's make the February match in Chattanooga for the title, and then we'll decide about WrestleMania later, I guess. Now, to further complicate things, Psycho Sid was supposed to wrestle Shawn for the title the night he gave it up, so they decided that the winner of the four-way match in Chattanooga would then wrestle Sid for the championship the following night on Monday Night Raw. Everybody getting this so far? You not only have these four combustible elements vying for a vacant championship, but you have Sid waiting in the wing the very next night. The rules of this match are also kind of weird. It's an elimination match, so three guys have to be eliminated before one guy is left as the sole survivor, the champion. Eliminations occur via pinfall or submission, or because this match is connected to the Royal Rumble, you can eliminate someone by throwing them over the top rope. And indeed, that's how all the eliminations in this match take place. One of my favorite parts about this match is the amount of palpable tension you can feel heading into it, like in the moments before the bell. In the weeks leading up to this event, Bret Hart had been feuding with Steve Austin, and The Undertaker had been working with Vader. And, you know, just generally, the WWF title picture was really volatile at that point, so you really got a sense that all four of these guys hated each other. But our announcers here, Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, really did a great job making this feel like a combustible situation, a match where anything could happen and anybody could emerge as the champion. They weren't yet the iconic announce team they would later be, but I don't know if they were ever better than they were here. And then, as icing on the cake, you've got a great shot of Howard Finkel, the ring announcer in the ring. He's got that great voice. And then you have the on-screen character President Gorilla Monsoon in the background holding the title. Once the bell rings, this match does a tremendous job of making it feel like these are four guys legitimately fighting each other, trying to win something. Like the camera, for instance, has to cut back and forth frantically between two pairs of guys that are fighting, most often Bret and Austin, and Undertaker and Vader. It doesn't feel like guys are taking turns wrestling for the cameras. Something else I like about this match? No dives. Like, where three guys are clumped together outside the ring fighting, supposedly, and then the fourth guy either jumps through the ropes or above the ropes on top of them, and they all catch him. Dives are so overdone in modern wrestling, as some modern wrestling fans will tell you. Also, no contrived table spots. or ladder spots, or spots where someone jumps off a ladder onto somebody else through a table, or spots where somebody dives into a ladder, or jumps off the top rope through a table. Just stop it. I'll tell you what does happen, though. Steve Austin takes a backdrop from the 6'9" or 6'10" Undertaker onto the cement aisleway. Ugh. If you watched this match as it was happening in 1997, chances are what you remember about it is Vader and what Vader went through during this match, and there's a good reason for that. So less than 5 minutes into the match, Undertaker and Vader are outside the ring, and it feels like they're improvising stuff, but maybe they're not, I don't know. And Undertaker's up against the ring post, and Vader's got a metal chair, and the idea is obviously that Vader's going to mess Undertaker up with the chair, but instead, Undertaker kicks the chair back in Vader's face. If you watch it with a trained eye, you can tell, okay, that was supposed to happen. What wasn't supposed to happen, and it's as obvious now as it was then, was the gash next to Vader's left eye and the ensuing blood flow that came from it. Usually when wrestlers cut themselves and bleed for dramatic effect, it's up here so that the blood flows down for dramatic effect. This one, though, over here, obviously not planned. I don't know if Undertaker kicked the chair too hard, or if the chair was just awkwardly placed, or if it was something else, or if it was a combination of a bunch of things. Either way, Vader had to work the rest of the match with a bunch of blood in his face and in his eye. And by the way, much like the man himself, Vader's role in this match was not small. He had to do, among other things, a backflip off the top rope in an attempted moonsault on somebody, and then later on he had to take a superplex into the ring from Bret Hart. I weigh considerably less than Vader did at the time, and I wouldn't be capable of those kinds of acrobatics under normal circumstances, much less if I were bleeding from the face. On the subject of Vader and Bret, there's a moment in the match where the camera catches them on the outside, and Vader looks like he's trying to put the sharpshooter on Bret Hart, and then he kind of stops. That's weird for a variety of reasons, not the least of which being the sharpshooter is Bret's move. And why he would be doing it on the outside is odd, because not as many people can see you from a crowd standpoint. See, that's what makes me think a lot of this stuff, or at least a decent amount of it, was called on the fly, and somebody, maybe even Bret, told Vader, hey, don't do that. But again, in Vader's defense, he was bleeding from the face. Eventually, Vader just has to flat out take the mask off in the middle of the ring, just probably because there's so much blood in his face. The crowd was into the eliminations, though, the whole over-the-top rope thing, even though those aren't traditional rules. When Austin went out first, they cheered big. And then in yet another fall that Vader probably shouldn't have taken, he was perched on the second rope, and then Undertaker, I think, nut-shotted him, and he fell over the ropes to the outside. In the end, Austin comes out, causes a distraction, allowing Bret to clothesline Undertaker out of the ring and win the match and the title. The crowd popped big for Bret. They did make sure to get a couple of shots of the Undertaker looking forlorn and sad after the match, though, which indicates they probably knew the direction for WrestleMania that night. Austin wasn't able to screw Bret Hart out of the title that night. He did get him the following night, though, in the match with Sid, costing him the title and allowing Sid to become champion again. And then the match was made for WrestleMania 13, Sid versus Undertaker for the title. But yeah, great match, a lot of fun, noteworthy from a trivia standpoint, because not only was it Bret's fourth WWF title win, this, I believe, was the first time Steve Austin ever main evented a pay-per-view, not just for WWF, but any promotion. Not the last, though, as I recall.